And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition of the HSL, the Hispanic StarCraft League Group C. I'm, of course, just VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to some more Hispanic StarCraft. Let's go. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, this is the beginning here of the HSL. This is a new initiative, a new endeavor by the Spanish-speaking community here to host a league, to host somewhat of a GSL for the Spanish-speaking community. Let us go. I say specifically Spanish-speaking. This is not Latino America. It includes them, but it is Latino America alongside Spain as a nation as well. So we have players from all around going to be competing, going to be taking part, and we have an exciting group ahead of us. Let's go. Let us go as we switch our teams over. As a reminder as well, none of the group stage is casted live. It is all played ahead of time. Replays are submitted, and we are covering these matches via replays. The playoffs will be live. We can confirm that. So the playoffs are going to be next month. The playoffs are in April, but until then, we are jumping into the group stage. And let's switch our scenes over and catch up on the group itself. See in the chat, hello Psycons in the chat, as hello Seagrail as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Hola, hola, bienvenidos. We have Group C. Now, this is a round-robin group. We have a lot of matches ahead of us. We won't be casting every match, but we have a good portion of them here. We have, thankfully as well, some nice variety. We have our competitors here. We have a player from Spain, we have Ares from Spain, we have Temmie from Peru, we have Chen from Mexico, and we have Zions from Peru as well, and Borao from Argentina. Oh my god, to end the night. So we have a stacked group. Again, it is round robin, so everyone played against everyone. A lot of matches, a lot of series to be casted, but we have these here featuring Group C. Let's go. Let us go. As a reminder as well, these are best of threes. These are all best of threes, but all matches are played. So regardless if it's a 2-0, sorry, I should say, regardless if it's a 3-0 or not, all matches are going to be played out regardless of the scoreline. And we will kick things off here with our ZVT, with Ares and Temmie facing off in that Zerg versus Terran matchup. Here we go. So we are going to be jumping in. As a reminder as well, there are a lot of groups when it comes to the HSL. I believe there's like 7+ groups. There's a lot to get into, a lot to cover, a lot to cast. We are going to be covering Group D tomorrow, and next week we'll be wrapping up the group stage, or at least catching up on a lot of the group stage. Fun fact, the group stage has yet to conclude. There's still matches ongoing, so hopefully they do wrap up by the time we get to casting. Otherwise, we might postpone for the next 2 weeks instead of next week. We'll see. For now, though, we're jumping in. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Protoss player from land of Spain. It is Ares. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the... we do have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself from land of Peru. It is Temmie. Also, my apologies, I had assumed that Ares was Zerg, but looks like, never mind, at least for this series, is rocking that Protoss race instead. Okay, never mind. Not kicking things off with a TVZ, with a TVP instead. I'm ready, I am excited. We'll see if that continues to be the trend throughout the course of the series, or if we do mix it up over time. Ares is going to be starting things off with a proxy pylon across the map, going for the probe scout into the main base. We can see here one gas opener, single gas out of Temmie, so going for something more economic, going for a Rax expand. So economic opener out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, a cheeky start out of our Protoss. Now, he isn't immediately going for the proxy gateway, so he isn't immediately going for proxy zealot into adept into stalker aggression, but he can throw down a proxy later on down the line, or at least use this to reinforce. So there is aggressive potential here for Ares, as he does pull away. Is gonna pull away. So I'll just fix up the out of game race there. As he does pull away. Meanwhile, you see Jupin. We have Temmie. Temmie, of course, getting his natural base up and running, and it looks like we are making use of this pylon. A bit of a more delayed proxy, but a proxy nonetheless. The probe has arrived, and we are setting up for, I would imagine, oh, a proxy robo, not a proxy gateway. we are going to commit. Okay, you have my attention here. As we are going to commit, we're going to double down. Back at home, again, nothing here. There's nothing going on. There's no expansion. Temmie does scout the lack of nexus. That is a tell that something is wrong, something is amiss. We do have the bunker being thrown down. We're scouting for proxies, and we will check the proxy location. Proxy double robo. Okay. 2 robos here. Pylon, sorry, the probe is going to be shut down. Pylon's on the way, and from here we can rally. But alas, add-ons are still in production. Remember, this was a delayed factory. This was a later CC. So alas, a more economic build means that there's less to work with. Rough stuff for Temmie, but at least he knows what's going on. Reaper moves out to harass across the map. Does run into the Stalker. Does have to calm down, pull away. Immortal production has begun. Now, with 2 robos, this means you can make it Immortal and a Prism really early on. And the War Prism is going to be a big factor when it comes to microing, when it comes to controlling the units, reinforcing, and of course, blinking back. Second bunker's on the way. Alas, Immortals, they are bunker busters. They're built to bring them down. There it is, second Immortals in production. Going for the second Immortal first. Before the Prism, I mean. Meanwhile, 1-1-1. This feels a little bit greedy to go for the starport before a second Rax or before a factory, considering it's an all-in. There we go. The Immortal is waddling forward. I mean, true. With this, you can actually make a Viking. No, actually, yeah, I do like this. We can get a Viking. The Viking can shut down the Prism. Prism is on the way, as we did mention. Meanwhile, the first bunker. Oh no, the repairs! Repair, no, they're on the wrong bunker. First bunker does go down. Alas, the SCVs, the boys, they did not care. Focusing on the other, and the second bunker is going to fall as well. Again, 2 Immortals, they will just shut this down. Viking is in production. Boys are being pulled. Tank is going to be able to siege up. Does siege the tank. Ooh, massive tank shots going off. And the Prism should be shut down. Yeah, it's going to be targeted by even the Marines. Barely goes for the tank. The tank does survive. Barely not. But the Immortals are so low here. Immortal goes down. Miscontrol there from Adez. Does miscontrol. Does bleed. Oh no! It does lose both. Oh my god. Both Immortals and the Prism. And with that, Temmie, he is holding. He's surviving. Immortal is waddling in. Hold on, I got this. Bam. Does waddle in. Cleans up the Marines. Viking forced to land. Alas, without bunkers, without the tank here, that one Immortal is doing so much. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Bunkers on the way. We're buying enough time. Yeah, the Immortal's low enough. It's low enough. Temmie, he's still barely holding on. Still barely holding. Making more Vikings. Making more bio. Spots the additional Immortals. The problem here is that there's just, the bunker's not going to finish. The bunker's not going to finish. There is no defense of the natural. Boys being pulled away. Back at him, Adez is expanding. And with 3 Immortals, they're breaking down that front door. One of the Immortals is very low, though. Immortals are low. Tank finally does arrive. Vikings, they can lift. They can lift. They can lift. There we go. They can. Oh no! Not again! Not again! One Immortal goes down to the War Prism, and alas, Adez, he will lose far too much here. That's what, 5 Immortals going down? Assuming that this one does also fall. Yeah, that's the 5th Immortal. Thankfully, no more proxy. No, we're not going to be reinforcing, but it's an expensive proxy location as well. Another Immortal's on the way, but this should be shut down. Yeah, this should be shut down. Back at home, what do we have to work with? We have gateways in production. Remember, no Twilight Council, no Blink, no Charge, no nothing. Yeah, there's a cancel on the Immortal. And Temmie will defend. Whew, okay, now we gotta take stock. We have to take stock here as what's been going on. We have a 3rd CC in production. We have 2 Raxes. Alas, no Tech Lab, no Stim. Likewise, we do have a Cyclone on the way. The Cyclone will help. Will support. And with this army, we can counterattack. We can counterattack. Shield batteries on the way. There's just the 1 Immortal. There's a handful of Stalkers. Warp Gate is done. We'll see what Temmie can accomplish across the map. I wouldn't be opposed to even sieging here outside of the main and going for these pylons, going for the cyber core. There's potential. Unless Temmie will keep some of his forces back at home, just moving out with the drop. Does move out. Does move out, boosting into the main. And so far, getting quite a bit done here. The boys are being pulled. Oh, God. The boys are being pulled. The medevac is here to support. And alas, every probe is going to fall down. Oh, my God. Brutal economic damage here. That's going to be 17. 17 probe kills. One was killed across the map, so 16. 16 workers go down. The economy is crippled. And Temmie is going to run away with this. Run away with this. Should not lose anything else here. I mean, what can we accomplish at FC Duche into the main with the Cyclone to defend? We go to third CC. We're up in workers, up in bases, up in production. The one chance here, the one comeback mechanic. What do we go for? The Dark Shrine. True. Dark Shrine is on the way. But because of the triple orbital, there's more mules. Oh, sorry, I should say there's more energy for scans. There's more energy for those scans. It is that last Hail Mary play. Yo, we got safety turrets in production. Let's go. Turret in the natural, turret in the main. Did scout the Twilight Council, but didn't quite confirm what was the follow-up. Is going to be charge. Makes sense. So we can warp in Dark Templar. If there's detection, they can morph into Archons. Looks like the Zealots. And this can still muster together an all-in. But it's going to have to be. Have to be that all in. Third base now being taken. Safety turret on the way. Here come the Dark Templar. It's gonna be 4 of them. 4 DCs moving out. That is looking to expand and get a third. That's crazy. Okay. We're gonna try to macro out of this. Not going for the all in. Going for the expand instead. Bold move. Now, Temmie should be staying back home until we finish off these upgrades. We have a stim, combat shields, +1 because of shell. All the bio upgrades are finishing up. Spots a Dark Templar. Should have a scan. And does. He has that scan, shuts down the Dark Templar. And now we can counterattack. Now would be the time to push. We have more turrets being thrown down. Just to ensure that back at home we are safe. Ghost Academy is on the way. And holding on to the store base is not going to happen. Yes, we have some charge lots, but there's only 4 of them. Shield batteries, there's only 1 in position. The others are further back. That is, baits out 2 of those mine shots. Not bad. Does bait them out. There's a cancel. And Temmie, he denies the warp in. Depowers a shield battery. He can just stim in. He can stim and he can win. The Immortal was barely standing. The 2 shield batteries, they are coming into play. Oh, there's just too much firepower here. There's too much DPS. There's too much damage outputs. Cleaning up all the Zealots. Takes down the Immortal. GG gets called and Temmie will take a lead in the series 1-0. GG. GG, well played. Does take a lead, and oh, interesting. Okay. So I assume that Adez was a Zerg player, and maybe, but coming into this, looks like Adez has been opting to switch up races, So it has been race switching, and we'll see if Adez can recover here. Coming into our next game. Oh, my apologies. I say race switching. Random. Oh, they're playing that makes more sense. So they are playing random, and they're rolling as Terran here in game number 2. We have a mirror matchup. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran himself. From land of Spain, it is Adez. Should say the random player rolling Terran. I don't know how strong his races are. We'll find out. And in the bottom left hand corner we have the blue Terran player from land of Peru representing himself, currently teamless. It is Temmie. leading the series 1-0. Here we go. As the SCV does move out across map real fast and real quick, and we are most likely setting up for a proxy. SCV scouts this early on are not really a thing in TvT, bearing in mind that Temmie does not know what race is up against, is a random opponent, and of course random players should not necessarily say their race, so it is in the dark. And here comes that Rax. Going to be one at home, one across the map, so it's going to be 2 Rax Reaper. This is very middle of the road. This is not too committed. This can, though, punish a more economic build. Speaking of economic build, Temmie is going Rax Expand once again. Economic opener out of our blue Terran player, which means Adez has the opportunity to get some damage done. And if he can kill the first Reaper, that could be it. That could be game. So a very risky moment here for Temmie. Temmie, he's going to SCV scouts. With this worker scout, if he sees the gases, nah, never mind. He's going to be locked out. He's going to be locked out of the main base. He will see nothing except for the race of his opponent. True. So you can argue that the SCV scout, of course, is worth it here, as he doesn't know what he's up against. Confirms no natural. Can rule out Zerg. Goes into the main and does confirm Terran. And he has to be so careful with that Reaper. Oh, as we're going 3 racks? Okay, interesting. I mean, the wall back at home, this is inefficient when it comes to like 3 racks Reaper, but in a way it does hide the build, so that you could argue that's worth it. He's looking for proxies. I mean, after what happened in game 1, I don't blame him. Does check the linear third location, and will eventually check the triangular third. The Reaper's out. Reaper is out. Backing up. Does confirm, has to get out of here, has to pull away. Ooh, does pull back. And boys are going to have to be pulled. Yeah, he's going to have to pull the boys. And has to protect his own Reaper. He's getting called out. Oh, does pull away. Bunker's been thrown down. So far, good response by Temmie. Again, he has pulled some too many SCVs. There we go. Has to pull back. Has to go back to mining. Does have to go back. So far, Temmie, he's holding on. Bunker on both locations, but nothing to fill them. Oh no, can he get in? No, he cannot. Cannot get into the bunker. Marine goes down. Bunker's under fire. Second Marine is going to get picked off as well. Doesn't get to the bunker. Yeah, army's out of position. Late response there by Temmie. Late reaction. And these Reapers are wreaking havoc. They're wreaking havoc. They're getting SCV after SCV. Oh, this is already getting out of hand. 9 SCV kills. Yeah, it's too much. 10 worker kills already. 3 Marines. 12 worker kills. And behind this, Adez has double the economy. Throws down a CC. Getting to his own economy here. Into his own natural. Reapers are going back into the mineral line. Army out of position. Ideally, you do want this bunker to cover this Reaper cliff, and we see that without that, I mean, the Reapers are just abuse it. They abuse this location. Does get a Reaper. That's still 14 SCVs. With this many Reapers, we can overwhelm the Hellion. Hellion can be overwhelmed. Yeah, he's going for it. He is going for it. GG gets called, and with that, Adez ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Okay. We are going to that ace match, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see where this takes us, as we're going into game number 3. Going to be loading into Frostline. And remember, Adez is playing random, so we've seen his Protoss, we've seen his Terran. Do we get to see his Zerg, or do we get a repeat of another race? And does he have other builds up his sleeve? So far, he's been very cheesy, hyper aggressive. And I'm sure that's going to continue as we load into the ace match. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh. Do you have to fix that up? Bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the Spanish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, tying up the series, forcing the ace match. It is Adez. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Peruvian Terran player, the Blue Terran. It is Temmie, aka Chupetin. Aha, let's go. As we just see a much earlier SCV scout. There we go. Confirmed Zerg, but very early scout. You can see that Temmie, he's adapting to his opponent over time and is getting a better read as to what's going on. Does go for a much earlier scout, does confirm the hatch first. So hatch first here out of Adez is going hatch pull delayed gas. Interesting. Delayed gases here from our Zerg player. With a later gas, we could see maybe even an earlier third expansion. We could go gasless. True. Yep, there we go. Gasless. So, very greedy build here by the Zerg player. Oh no, my apologies. Scouting. Drone scouting is so uncommon, but okay. He's going for a drone scout, confirming there is no proxy. Usually you rely on your second overlord for that, so this is inefficient by Adez, as the second overlord is now moving in position, but I guess just a little bit paranoid just because of how the series has progressed. He's like, oh, he's Terran, he's going to be proxying, right? I mean, you're in Hannibal. There we go, 6 lings on the way. Again, this is an earlier spawning pool, and the goal of these lings should be to delay the expansion. Maybe even force a cancel, but at least delay. At least delay the CC. The goal would be to avoid this Reaper. Reaper moves out, and the lings should be skirting around the edge of the map and trying to get past. Ooh, as we have more lings on the way. With this heavy of a commitment, making more lings, this shouldn't just be to delay, this should be to force a cancel. This should be a cancellation on that CC. Reaper gets spotted. The lings, they know where the Reaper is, they should be avoiding it, but unless they just run right into it instead. Oh no! Oh, they get us around. That should not have happened. They get us around here at the steam vents, and Temmie cannot hold on to the natural. It's not going to happen. He has 1 Marine, 2nd Marine's on the way. That's going to be a cancel. That is brutal. Ay. These small little missteps you cannot afford here. Not at this level of play. Not in StarCraft. Yeah, the lings should be enough, and that's going to be a massive win here for Adez. Again, with 2 Marines, there's no protecting this. Not with an additional ling flood. Boys, I mean, true. Well, the boys have to be pulled. They have to be pulled. And with pulling the boys, we will save the CC. It's going to cost us a lot of workers, a lot of losses. Lost mine time, I should emphasize. Oh, there we go. Does protect his Marines. And he holds. Whew, he should be okay. Now, this did deal a lot of damage, as all these workers were not mining, but at least we saved the natural. 3rd TCs on the way. Good crisis management here out of Temmie. This was still a rough start, and he doesn't know what's going on. What's scary here is that there could be a Roach follow-up. That's what I would be most concerned by, is a Roach all-in as a follow-up. The Reaper was killed. He has to rely on his Hellions for the follow-up scout. Speaking of Roaches, there it is. Like, this is kind of like the big next, like, power move here from Adez, or the next big power spike. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to verbiage. And alas, our Terran player needs to confirm this to get into his own Cyclones, like tank production. Banshee even is going for the 1-1-1. And we'll see if he can recognize whether or not Adez is even droning. Now, we can see that he is. He is droning up. He is taking his gases. And because of the gas-less opener, no link speed. Bear that in mind. 0 link speed here for Adez. He is going for those Roaches. Temmie back at home. Hellions have arrived. We need to scout. These Hellions, more than anything, they need to confirm the tech. They need to confirm what exactly is going on. And already they confirm no link speed. That's a bit of a tell. There is no link speed. Technically, this could be something crazy like fast lair into fast spire. We have delayed link speed on the way. Hellions move in. And they need to get eyes on the saturation. They confirm the Roach one at least, so he's aware of the Roaches. Banshee's on the way. But he needs to figure out whether or not Adez is droning. As for now, he isn't, so he's not making anything right now. Roaches revealed. Hellions, they don't get into the mineral line. We can see Adez is saturating his 3rd base, taking more gases. He's getting up to 4 gases back at home, and droning up his 3rd. So Adez, he's macroing. Lair at the 3rd base, not my first choice, but okay. Lair's at the 3rd. Getting into +1. From here, he could go for a 3 base Roach all in. He can just go up to 60 workers and max out on Roach Ravager. Once again, it's on the Terran to confirm whether or not there's a 4th expansion and how hard the Zerg player drones. 1-1 is on the way, getting into bio. Let's go. See Hellies have potential. Head into the mineral line. Up! 3 drones get roasted, not bad. 5 drones. They come in a little bit too soon. They do line up. Alas, the Hellion volleys on the Queen. They do get wasted. Some rough Hellion volleys. They make their way into the natural. Once again, boys being fooled. We're on move command. And alas, we don't get the shot off. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a misrally there from the Hellions. They were rallied into the mineral line. Now this holds. It does hold, does defend. That was some okay damage there from the Hellions. Unfortunately, Hellion cannons reset. The Banshees are still at home. They should soon be moving out. Alas, looks like they're waiting for Cloak. Cloak is still on the way. This Cloak was delayed. Building up, getting into bio. Adez is making roaches. This could just be safety roaches here. 4th base being thrown down for larva. Yeah, safety roaches. Safety roaches. Adez is still droning. Still saturating. So far, Temmie building up. I do think that this is a mistake. Cloak is done. I was saying earlier that, you know, the Banshees were staying at home because they're waiting for Cloak. Cloak has been up for quite some time. These Banshees, they need to be active across the map. There are spores in position, that is true, but we still need to get confirmation of the timing of the 4th base, picking away at Queens, picking away at the Roaches and the Ravagers. We need some activity here. Banshees, they finally do move out. This is delayed for Temmie. It's going to be delayed. But thankfully he's being active. We have the Spire on the way, so Adez is going into mutas. Temmie does split the main army, which is going to force a tank response. So buy a tank. Second factory is done. 4 CCs on the way. Temmie is macroing up. He's not going for a 3-base all-in. There is no detection, no overseer with the Queen. So again, there's like opportunities here to like get damage done on the Queens. Instead, just going for tumors. Still value. Still gaining value. And we are building up. And the biggest concern coming into this is the lack of scouting of the Spire. Like, the Spire is unseen, undetected. Spire is now done. The Roach Ravager army hasn't been getting larger. Adez has been banking off of mutas. He is poking. The move out is spotted. Banshees, they can chip away at the army. And Adez, he's making 12 more roaches. He's not making mutas. He looks for the 4th, doesn't find it. Oh. Cloak. It's activated. He does pull away. Spots the main army. So far, just keeping tabs on the rotations. Adez does have money to go for a massive muta switch, but is not going for it yet. Just maintaining map control. Oh, the Wilds! Ooh, Wilds take down the Banshee. And Temmie's on it. I mean, he saw the army. He's not in position. Yeah, he's getting caught out of position here. The army does head towards that 3rd. Temmie caught behind the army, instead pushing up a ramp. Oh, this should not have happened. Yeah, and without the Vials, they crash out on the fire. Tanks are on the low ground. These Ravagers, they can just pull back. If they pull back, they pull away out of range of the tanks. They get into the mineral line. And Temmie will lose everything here. The Marines, tanks trying to reposition. And that's going to be 24 CV kills. 24 CVs. Vials on the tanks. Not like this. Adez doesn't have to push into the tank, so this is a bit of an overextension here from Adez. But alas, he will reset anyway. He resets the tank count, cleans everything up. And remember, at any moment, Adez can just go into mutas. You can just go into mutas. So unfortunately, Temmie was just not where he needs to be. We'll lose another tank. 4CC getting up and running. Supplies are relatively close. A big reason for this is that Adez never droned. He only droned up to 55. Like, very low drone count here for the Zerg player. Very low economy, even for a 3-base all-in. So Temmie does hold. True. It was not pretty. It was not a pretty hold, but does survive. He's throwing down more CCs. Okay. Throwing down more orbitals. Right now he needs workers more than anything. To build up his work account once again. He's only making 2 SCVs at a time. So very low SCV count. But he's still in this. Still in this, getting into 3-3. But yeah, his macro cycles have been lackluster. You can see despite his bank, despite not being supply blocked, he's not actually producing from all of his production buildings. Likewise, not making all of his SCVs. Just now making 3. And this is giving time to Adez to rebuild himself. Taking him into Hive. Gets the planetary. Temmie out of position. Do we go for the base trade? He has to make a choice. He's turning around. He's turning back around. Planetary is gonna fall. He's racing back home. Once again, out of position. Oh, we'll lose one of his tanks. And this is all just better for Adez. Like, he's forcing back the army. He already killed the expansion. He got the mineral line, catching reinforcing tanks. Oh no! Gets more tanks. And Temmie starts chasing the Zerg army. So you'll lose another tank. Now again, what's keeping Temmie in this game is still the lack of saturation. Like, Adez still does not really have the best economy. Still on 61 workers, that is still less than a 3-base economy. So it's still not looking ideal. Infestor has arrived. We have a fungal. We have fungals available. Not quite connecting. Temmie, I mean, thanks to his rebuilt CCs, he's able to retake his 4th base. He's making workers. You could argue he has a better economy with mules. And he's getting into 3-3. And again, Adez, he's just now droning up, at least somewhat. Ooh, I worry that Temmie's going to be forced back home again. Yeah, Adez does hit the planetary. Temmie, he can go for the expansions. He can go for the hive even. Sorry, the lair. Wait, what? We built a second lair. I mean, true. I mean, the hive is going to be safe because that we're going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade. Planetary force to lift. Takes down one expansion. And from here, we should just keep going. Instead, Adez. Okay, I was going to say he was on to turn around, but no, he commits. So should the Terran. Stimming on forward. Pushing into the bases. Unfortunately, Temmie is unaware of bottom right. Doesn't see the expansion. And he's a siege on the high ground. He has to siege up back at home. There we go. Does siege up. Takes down the natural. Oh no. Partial tier on the first tank. They do not connect. Infestor goes down. No fungal growths. And he's going for the tech. He's going for the kill. As Adez does have somewhat of a bank. But we'll lose this hive, and Adrenal's going to be denied. Ooh, Ultras, they just began. We have 3 Ultras on the way. They're going to be 0-1 Ultras, 0 melee, and +1 carapace. So they're going to be quite squishy, actually. Meanwhile, we do see the main base is defended. The 3rd base does lift. Oh, the ACVs! No! Workers are going to be shut down. And where do we head from here? And working towards top left. Going for another expansion. I do favor Temmie in this base trade if he's able to siege. Like, I'm concerned that he's going to get picked away or picked away at and picked apart. But in a head-on fight, I do have to favor the Terran. What does he see? Oh no! Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Reinforcements getting caught out. He will lose 2 tanks. Two tanks go down. Ultras have arrived. There's the Unsiege! Does Unsiege at the wrong moment. Tanks, they do... Sorry. Ultras, they do dive in. They force a lift. Tanks go down. He does save his army. Does pull away. Does pull away. You have a fusion core in production. I don't think that's quite necessary, but okay. Like, even Banshees would be fine here. We don't need BCs, but sure, sure. Getting into the fusion core. I still do favor the Terran in a head-on fight, but that's predicated on whether he's sieged up and the positioning, of course. Ades does have an expansion, rebuilding a spawning pool, getting a lair. Oh, the Biles. Meanwhile, likewise, Temmie has his planetary up and running. It was spotted. Yeah, it was spotted. Ades is going for the planetary. Meanwhile, this is a massive army. Even unsieged, I think Temmie can just A-move, I'll be honest. I think he can just stim and win through this. We'll have to target fire the Ultras. But again, even then, remember, these are 0-1 Ultras. Or 1, yeah, 0-1. They have no kindness plating, they have no melee upgrades, they have plus 1 carapace. Biles. Oh, they do connect. Oh god, the Biles do connect. But despite that, yeah, the Ultras, they melt. The Ultras, they get one shots. GG gets called, and Temmie will take the series 2-1, taking down Ades. GG. Hi. GG, well played. A very scrappy series, very scrappy game 3 as well, very intense. Temmie had some strong moments. Likewise, though, he was caught out of position like 2 or 3 times at least, like in some big moments as well, in a big way. So some really rough moments there for Temmie, but he was able to more importantly focus on his army and build up his forces. Remember, by the end, we had our Zerg player who had +1 carapace and +2 range. Meanwhile, we had 3-3 from the Bioterran. We had 3-3 upgrades for the Terran player. Like, he was on point of his upgrades. He was on point when it came to expanding as well. His main issue, I would say, is map vision and map control. He was having a really hard time keeping eyes on the rotations of the main army, the rotations of the Zerg player, and that was hurting him more than anything. Outside of that, though, GG, well played. Temmie does take it, and we are going to be following Ades into the rest of his matches. Here we go. Up next, we have Ades going up against his ex-opponent, up against El Chamaco himself. Let's go. Cham, of course, is in this group. Cham is the big name. He's the heavy hitter in Group C. He is the one to bring down. We'll see if anyone can. We'll see if anyone can make Cham bleed, as we are going to be following him into his series versus Ades.